Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A Wisconsin man is arrested and charged in a workplace shooting after being there for just days. Plus, flames can be seen on the tarmac of Rockford's airport today. The test of skills to make sure everyone's prepared for a real emergency. And she's serving our country as well as representing Team USA, a local Olympic athlete's message to students about their future. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy. Eric is off tonight. A Janesville man is dead after police say his co-worker shot him at their workplace. They had known each other for 1 week. 23-year-old Kevin Todd is charged with first-degree homicide. Police say workers at Precision Drawn Metals on Plainfield Avenue called 911 around 4:30 yesterday, saying someone had been shot. The employees told police Todd shot their co-worker, then walked out of the building. Rock County Sheriff's deputies pulled him over about 15 miles away. Todd told police he had been bullied at work, but the police chief says they have no record of that.
This was a pretty unique circumstances at Precision Drawn Metals in that there was just limited contact with the suspect with his few number of days that he worked, and there's some sincere questioning if there in fact was any bullying in the workplace.
Todd is currently in the Rock County Jail. The victim has not been named. The teenager accused of killing a 10-year-old girl in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, is given a $1 million bond. The 14-year-old is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, sexual assault, and sexual assault of a child. Lily Peters disappeared after going to visit her aunt on Sunday. Her body was found the next day. Today in court, the 8th grader's attorney argued the teen isn't a flight risk and asked for just $100,000 cash bond. But the state said he intended to rape and kill the little girl from the beginning.
All three of the charges require that the defendant intended to do something. So like first-degree intentional homicide, it's with intent to kill a person. So that you have to, that's different than like reckless or some other version of homicide, that you went into the situation with intent to kill the person.
The teen could face life in prison if convicted on the homicide charge. His next court hearing is May 5th. Today is Denim Day. One day each April, the community is encouraged to wear denim as a way to show support for victims of sexual violence. It started by a judge in Italy who did not convict a man of rape, saying the woman's jeans were so tight she must have helped take them off, giving consent. Today, an art exhibit in Rockford University recognized victims. The idea behind it is to raise awareness around sexual assault and offer support as well as resources for survivors. We here at Eyewitness News are dedicated to ending sexual assault and domestic violence in the community through our State Line Strong campaign. We're looking at prevention and intervention efforts. You can learn more by going to mystateline.com. Click on the My State Line Strong section. Winnebago County will soon have a new court that could help cut down on crime. In 2021, Rockford police recovered over 400 guns and had over 1,000 calls for shots fired. Today, State's Attorney Jay Hanley announced his goal of a gun court in the state line becoming a reality. Starting May 16th, a defendant charged with a gun crime will go through gun court. It will work just like how other criminal felony cases are handled. Hanley says the idea is this court would be able to handle the increasing number of gun cases more efficiently.
The goals of gun court will be to hold gun offenders accountable for their crimes, to reduce recidivism, and to incentivize law-abiding behavior through thoughtful sentencing alternatives.
Judge Joseph McGraw will preside over gun court. Today, first responders prepared for the worst. They tested their skills against a major disaster at Rockford's airport. The FAA requires a mass casualty drill every 3 years. Today, over 100 people played out a would-be disaster. The simulation was of a crash of an MD-80. Passengers ejected, then the plane catches fire. The team evaluated the injuries, even figuring out which patients would go to which hospital. And then they had to put out the fire. The idea behind the drill is to help first responders prepare to make sure they're ready to respond to anything.
We're always training. I mean, every day we do some type of training. It's no different than structural firefighting with their training, but we just train different. We train, for an aircraft instead of a building.
Division Chief Knott said the most challenging task today was resource coordination, making sure they use every person and the equipment in the best possible way. 7 children and 4 adults have to find another place to live after a fire at a Rockford apartment complex. Fire crews responded to the 6-unit building on East Ridge Drive just off of Alpine around 11:15 last night. They found smoke and fire coming from the first floor. Everyone was able to get out safely. One apartment has heavy fire and water damage. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. The nation's top infectious disease expert says we are out of the full-blown explosive pandemic phase of COVID-19. But Dr. Anthony Fauci says the challenge now is figuring out how to keep improving the situation. Fauci believes the country has transitioned to a more controlled phase of COVID. The chief medical advisor to the president adds that health officials are now concerned about the next stage, including keeping COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations manageable and learning to live with the virus. It was down to 4. 2 products made here in the state line could have won it all and become the coolest thing made in Illinois. Except Rivian's electric truck took the grand prize. This all started back in March when the Illinois Manufacturers Association asked people what's the coolest product made in the state. And today, Rivian, out of Normal, won it all after more than 200,000 votes in the final round. Fruit by the Foot, made by General Mills in Belvedere, and the bulkhead of the Orion spacecraft capsule, made by Ingersoll in Rockford, were both finalists. Army recruiters regularly go to schools and talk about opportunities, but today some local students got more than just a recruiter. Nikel Delgado was there. Nikel, who was their special guest?
Mimi, Sycamore native Lake Kwanzaa visited Hananiga High School. She's an Army specialist and a USA Olympic bobsledder. She talked about her career path, and the students tell me they were intrigued by the different opportunities.
I always thought it was, you're going into the Army, you're going to be shipped out somewhere, you're going to be shooting other people. You're going to be fighting, you're going to be active duty, always combat.
Colton Heinrich is a senior at Hananiga High School. He plans to go to college to study business and finance, and never thought about the Army until today.
The whole, she's a bobsledder and she's an athlete, and that really excites me, because also being an athlete, seeing the opportunities that I didn't know existed, being an athlete in the Army. I was very, very intrigued by that.
Army specialist and USA Olympic bobsledder Lake Kwanzaa visited the school, talking to students about how the Army is more than just active duty. There are jobs for athletes, cooks, computer specialists, accountants. There's something for everyone.
I hope that they take my experience and look at their life. It might not be identical, which it's not going to be, but just to realize that you can do this, and this without, it breaking you. If anything, it'll add to you and your experiences and your life story.
Kwanzaa tells me she's happy to be able to expand people's knowledge of what the Army is and does.
Any opportunity, it could be looked at as the worst thing ever to somebody else, but it could be the best thing for you at the time. So yeah, just literally don't take any opportunity that you're given for granted.
As for Colton, he's now considering the option of being a part of the U.S. Army.
After today, I realized, no, you can be a professional athlete in the Army, or you could just work on computers, or you could, the career opportunities, my horizons have been massively expanded after today.
For more information on the different career paths the Army has to offer, find this story on mystateline.com. Mimi?
Now, your First Warn weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, we've had a mix of sun and clouds throughout much of the morning, early afternoon, but as of late, cloud cover has kind of taken hold. And from that, we've had a couple of light rain showers, even some snow flurries try to show up here, at least on radar. But thanks to an easterly wind, we're really not seeing much of any of that actually reach the ground. That east wind providing a little bit of dry air in the middle part of the atmosphere. So as the rain and precipitation comes from the clouds, it actually evaporates before reaching the ground. Now, this wind, something that'll continue continue from the east at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. That east wind, the result of high pressure up to the north of us. So that is also helping to kind of feed in a little bit of dry air. Reason why we're getting some of those showers to pop up because of the stationary boundary down to the south and an increase of moisture coming in off the high plains. Now what's going to happen here, eventually we'll start to see more moisture kind of work in, and this will lead to a few light showers here late this evening, likely after about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Look at the temperature difference though. You've got 30s along the lake shore. We're in the 40s now, 50s a little further to the west, 70s and 80s down south of that. And eventually some of that warmth will move in our direction, but not until the weekend. That high pressure system pretty well set to our north. Cloudy skies, a live look with our Poplar Grove camera, sponsored by the Poplar Grove Airport. Not really going to break that cloud cover much. Temperatures did make it to 50 here in Rockford, but our numbers are now cooling, and we are going to eventually see those 30s sneak in. So with a little bit of that moisture here tonight, some light rain showers, not even going to completely rule out the potential for maybe a snowflake or two mixing in, and even a little bit of sleet with that. 46 for our weather watcher Ben here on the South Beloit here this afternoon. 35, that's where we'll end up for tonight. Mostly cloudy skies. Couple of light showers move in late here this evening. That east wind will stay at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Up to 51 for tomorrow afternoon. Mostly cloudy. We'll see a few scattered showers kind of on and off throughout the day. No one particular area getting in on a constant rainfall, and we'll see that here with Futurecast. Notice with Futurecast, temperatures dip down into the low to mid 30s, rising above that though by the time we get into tomorrow morning. A few light showers out there. Heavier jacket likely needed. It'll be cool. Watching then as another disturbance works in midday. Few light showers then again on and off as we head throughout our Thursday. Not expecting much for accumulation. Winds will eventually begin to shift to the south and southeast then by Friday. I think Friday evening, Friday night, we'll see a better chance for some showers, even a rumble of thunder or two with that as that stationary boundary begins to pull north. Now we'll watch this as we get into the afternoon on Saturday. Boundary just to the south of us, but that could actually pull a little further north. If it does, upper 60s are possible for Saturday afternoon before we see things cool off, but that could also lead to the risk for some thunderstorms. Looking ahead to the risk for severe weather, Friday that is focused over the Central Plains, so really not going to be a concern for us. Right now, Saturday, focused in on central and southern Illinois, but I wouldn't be surprised if that risk shifts a little bit further to the north, and we could see that come close to parts of the area. So we'll watch that for Saturday. 51 tomorrow, 61 Mimi on Friday. Our temperatures will kind of hold steady, upper 50s, low 60s, still just a little bit below that average as we go into next week.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
This could be the last call for the Bulls tonight when they play in Milwaukee. If they lose, their season will be over. Both Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso have been ruled out for the game, but the rest of the Bulls aren't ready to throw in the towel.
There'll be some adjustment for sure. Well, we might have to go a little more, but at the same time, we also know we still have to continue to play within our way of playing and make sure we involve everybody.
I mean, I trust my teammates. I understand what's going to come my way, so it's just on me using their aggressiveness, however they try to attack me, take the ball out of my hands, whatever it may be. Just me being more aggressive, getting my teammates involved.
The Toronto Raptors say Fred VanVleet is doubtful for their playoff game tomorrow night against the 76ers because of his hip injury. The Raptors won without Fred in their last game. They'll be trying to avoid elimination. And the White Sox haven't forgotten how to play winning baseball. They ended their 8-game losing streak today against the Royals. The Sox finally got some run production. Andrew Vaughn hit that shot off Zach Greinke. An RBI double in the third inning. The Sox led 2-0. Jake Berger came through with this big swing. That was in the fourth inning. A solo shot made it 3-0. In the seventh, Vaughn again with the game tied at 3, and he smashes that tie. It's a 3-run home run, number 4 this season for Vaughn. The Sox defeated the Royals 7-3. Dylan Cease pitched 6 innings and struck out 9, but he did not get the win. It is a special senior class that will soon be graduating from Rockford Lutheran High School. Here's proof. 9 senior student athletes signed with colleges today. 5 of them are volleyball players, 2 are basketball players, 1 competes in golf, and the other in track and field. They are Donovan Sales, Heaven Johnson, J.C. Sheehan, Kylie Willamy, Remington Vincent, Morgan Kimberly, Sarah Ziegler, Brooke Souls, and Kristen Rundle. Some of the schools they'll attend are Kishwaukee College, Rock Valley College, Augustana, UW Parkside, St. Mary's, Purdue Northwest, and Birmingham Southern.
I wanted to compete in college due to COVID and everything that happened, but I'm super excited to be competing for UW Parkside.
It's very exciting. It's like a dream come true. Always wanted to play basketball in college.
It's so special that we all got to sign together, so that was really exciting and I'm super proud of everybody.
The fact that I could celebrate this with my friends and family at my school is just so fun, and I'm really excited for these next 4 years.
Congrats to all of them. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Candace will have a final look at weather in just a moment, but first, here's a look at what's to come on News Nation tonight.
Almost every hour, new crazy leaks about House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Who's behind them? What's their motivation? And what does it mean for Republican candidates across the country as President Trump weighs in? Here's Dan.
DeSantis versus Disney. Now many saying the new controversial Florida law could soon be struck down by the courts. But one Florida lawmaker says he offered a solution that would have protected the education law, but no one wanted to listen. That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
That's coming up on News Nation tonight. It's available on the cable and satellite stations you see here, or you can head to newsnation.com. Candace is back with another look at that forecast, and it's not supposed to, at least we don't have a freeze warning tonight. It's not supposed to be as cold, right?
Right. I mean, temperatures will drop back into the 30s, but because we've got cloud cover and a couple of showers, not going to see that risk for any frost. However, we may see a couple of snow flurries mix in with that. I know, right? The First Warn Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. You see a couple of light showers popping up there on radar, but none of that reaching the ground just yet because we're still pretty dry. Down about 35 tonight, up to 51 tomorrow, 61 on Friday. Could reach the upper 60s Saturday, but that would kind of fuel the potential for a few thunderstorms we may have to watch, and then stay in the 60s next week.
All right, thanks, Candace, and thanks for joining us. Have a good evening.